Welcome to Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience, the podcast that celebrates the incredible strength and resilience of single parents. Your host is Nanciekem, and she's honored to join you on this journey of empowerment. In each episode, we'll dive into uplifting stories, offer practical advice, and connect you with valuable resources to support you in your solo parenting journey. Together, we'll rewrite the narrative of solo parenting and forge a community built on strength and empowerment. Let's dive in.
Hello, my fellow listeners. Nancy here. I am blessed and happy Thanksgiving to you guys. I know Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I wanted to talk about something really dear to our hearts again today. So I'm coming to you guys raw, and I'm going to be speaking about some things. And today's topic is going to be it's not your fault. It's not your fault, meaning not everything that is happening to you is your fault. And today we are going to be diving into a topic that touches the heart of so many single parents. It's not your fault is a message of understanding, is a message of compassion, and most importantly, it's a journey towards healing and self-forgiveness. It's just you and me today. Let's walk together through this. Just you and me. Okay? Many of us at some point in life, some point in our journey, we have felt like we want to self-blame. The sting of self-blame is so hard on single parents, whether it's related to the end of the relationship or the challenges of parenting alone, or simply societal pressure that can weigh us down. The burden of guilt can be very heavy. But today, we are here to gently unpack those feelings, to understand them, and to find a path forward. Let's really talk about understanding self-blame. Let's start by exploring why we often blame ourselves. It's a very common reaction, especially to complex situations. But understanding the root cause of it can help us to begin the healing process. Self-blame can stem from so many places, including our upbringing, our societal expectations, personal beliefs, and so many of them. Recognizing where your self-blame is coming from can really help us to start letting go of that blame and just allowing nature to play its course. So let us unpack self-blame, if you let me. Let us take a close look at each of the aspects that allow us to feel like we are self-blaming ourselves. And I have 3, but you can add on to the list. Number 1 will be end of a relationship. Most of the time, the end of a relationship, especially one that results in becoming a single parent, can often trigger feelings of self-blame. You might question your decision, sometimes wonder what you could have done differently, or even blame yourself for the relationship not working out. Happens a lot. Tell me you don't have some of that sometimes. This self-blame can be intensified by the emotional turmoil that accompanies the end of a significant relationship. When you are in a relationship with someone, maybe your husband or your wife, maybe your boyfriend, maybe your significant other, and you have gone to a degree of actually having children, that means that relationship was really significant to you. And when the end of that relationship happens, it might cause a lot of emotional turmoil. And whether we like it or not, um, some people love to be in a relationship, and most people honestly love to be in a relationship. And when it gets to an end, it's not only the pain of you being left as a single parent, it's also the pain of you losing that companion, that help that you had prior. Number two will be challenges of parenting alone. Whew, boy, let's talk about the challenges of parenting alone, right? It's not even a laughing matter, honestly. Single parenting is a journey filled with so many unique challenges, and they keep coming. They keep coming. You might blame yourself when you struggle to juggle various responsibilities. You feel like you're not a better parent. You feel like you're not a better match for this work. When you feel like you're not doing enough for your children, that can really throw you off to self blame. This self blame can stem from internalized expectations or maybe comparison with a family that has two parents or a household that has two parents, which leads you to feeling like you're falling or you're failing your children in some formal way. And it happens. It's not like you're not alone. It doesn't just happen to you, it happens to most of us. And it's something that we need to learn how to conquer. Number three on the aspects of self blame might be and can be societal pressure. Oh my gosh, societal pressure, right? Who told people that people have to be two? And who say that things can happen and won't happen and single parents can get married and still be able to live and have another chance to have a partner in their life? Nobody say that, right? But society has often set notions and stigmas attached to being a single parent or a single parenthood family. This societal pressure can really weigh heavily on single parents, leading them to feeling some form of guilt or inadequacies. Maybe you may feel inadequate in being a good parent, good mother, good father, someone your children can come to for advice, maybe a disciplinarian, because now you're forced to be all of the above. Um, you might be feeling judged or misunderstood by those around you, and the external judgment can really get inside real quick. You can internalize those feelings of self blame. And let me comfort you by this. There is no way you can have an obligation that is way bigger than what you can handle. If God is seeing it and He allowed it, He knows that you can deeply handle that. Just let that sink in, and also do not let external pressure get inside your boat and rock your boat. The boat never capsizes because of what is happening inside. The boat only capsizes when the outside environment gets inside the inside environment. So it causes the disability and it causes you to capsize. So chew on those two, and try to release that burden that is really affecting you, which is going to affect your mental, your emotional well-being. But however, we have a couple of solutions here, and this will give you a little break and help you to heal and help you to get rid of that blame. Let us unpack these feelings involved in several steps. Um, Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. Let us acknowledge these feelings of guilt and self blame. How do you recognize these emotions? Recognize the emotions are part of your journey is a crucial way to move forward. Accept that you're blaming yourself and acknowledge that you are feeling that way. And then now let's start digging into understanding. So once you acknowledge that you're going through self blame, now let us understand where these feelings are coming from. Is it from your personal expectations? You can have a notebook, you can have a journal, and actually I'm going to come up with a single parent journal that that can help you really break these things down and help you heal, help you through the healing process. Understand where the pressure is coming from. Is it coming from your own ways of thinking and your expectation towards being a parent? Or is it the societal norms that is giving you pressure, which means the pressure from outside? Or is it your emotional hurt from your past relationship that is causing you to feel self-blame? Analyze all these things and also identify the source that can help in addressing these feelings more effectively. So once you're done acknowledging it and now you dig deep into understanding where the feelings are coming from, now it's going to be easy for you to give yourself compassion. Compassion is a way of loving on yourself, giving yourself the same treatment you can offer a friend. Practice that self-compassion, self-love. Remember yourself that you're being a single parent that you possibly can, regardless of the challenges that are coming with it. And it's okay not to have all the answers whenever you need them right there and then. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed and accept the challenges that come with single parenthood. So give yourself that grace to be able to move through the waters, the uncertainties of life, just the same way you would to a friend. Seek support. When you have given yourself enough love and you feel like it's not really giving you that comfort that you need at that particular moment, just try to seek support. Do not hesitate to seek any help from friends, family, therapists. You can call friends who really, really understand where you are and you feel comfortable sharing with them. Seek BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online way of getting a therapist on a phone call and talk to them about your feelings and how you are feeling at that particular moment. And if it's something that can be fixed, they can definitely get you to a place where you feel peaceful and comfortable to deal with the situation that you have at hand. And another thing that I would like to add on here is, reframing the thought. Like, sometimes reframing the negative thought to a positive thought really, really helps. Doing the inside work. Instead of dwelling on what you think you're doing wrong, how about you start focusing on what you're doing that is right? Start focusing on giving yourself a pat in the back and accepting yourself the way you are. You're just making decisions with what you have at the moment. You didn't have so much knowledge when you made the decision. Now you're growing and you're making better decisions moving forward. So whenever you have that negative thought coming through your head, feeling like you are not capable, you're not good, you're not strong, you're not this, you're not that, replace that by affirming the positive thoughts about what you're doing that is positive. You're waking up in the morning. If you're a parent who takes their children to school, you're waking up in the morning, that's positive. You're taking your children to school, that is positive. Your children are eating, that is positive. They have a place to stay, that is positive. They have clothes on their back, that is positive. Like, there are so many little things that you are already doing that can give you that tick positive moments that can allow you to enjoy a little peace of mind in that regard. So when we understand this self-blame that way is really going to help us to be able to forgive ourselves and to love on ourselves and give ourselves another chance to live again. So, what did we talk about? We spoke about um, the things that make us feel like we are self-blaming ourselves, which is end of a relationship, challenges that come into parenting alone, society pressure. And then we went deeper into unpacking how we can solve these feelings or involve ourselves step by step in these feelings and breaking it down now into multiple steps. And now we are into acknowledging it, we are into understanding it, we are into giving ourselves compassion, we are into seeking support, and then we are into changing the mindset, the thought process. Instead of thinking of the negative, now we are emphasizing mostly on thinking about the positive. So, the impact of self-blame. What can self-blame do to you if you continue struggling with it? Self-blame can really lead to a very negative emotional state such as depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. So refrain from self-blame as much as you possibly can, because you don't want to fall into these three steps, because your children still need you fully. It can also result in unhealthy coping mechanisms. You can lose yourself completely, overwork yourself, neglect your own needs. You can become overweight. Some people who are stressed out or depressed, they tend to overfeed because food is a comfort. Some people can tend to overdrink because drinking gives you that little solace that you need in that particular moment. Some parents will choose to smoke because they feel like smoking takes away their daily struggles and the aspect of thinking about it. They don't want to think about it, so they are smoking themselves out. Some people can go into hard drugs, cocaine, heroin. There are so many negative sides that we don't want to go there, because now coming out of that will be a challenge for you. Not only it can lead you to losing your children. Now it's not like you're even fighting the battle of being a parent. Now you're fighting the battle of actually losing your kids, either to the government or to the other party. And that, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And self-blame can also affect parenting. It can hinder your ability to be present, to be responsive, to be a good parent. You can always be alone. You can always be distant. There are so many ways self-blame can affect a parent in so many ways. Some of them I might not be able to name them here, but I know that some of you guys have multiple ways that this can impact you if you continue that path of self-blame. So recognize it and address it. Once you recognize it and address it, it's easier for you to be able to forgive yourself and move forward. Another thing I wanted to talk about here after I'm done talking about the self-blame is the role of forgiveness. Once you're done emptying your heart out and knowing what's affecting you, now let's dig deep into the journey of forgiveness, especially forgiving our own self. It's often harder for us to forgive ourselves because it's easier to offer somebody else forgiveness than it is to give ourselves forgiveness. But in this regard, I want us to discuss the healing power of forgiveness. How can we embrace it, and how can we transform our lives by it? So, the role of forgiveness is particularly self-forgiveness. It's a vital healing process for us as single parents to often battle with the self-blame. So, understanding the power of forgiveness I have 3 points right here. And the first point is healing your emotional wound, breaking the cycle of self blame, and improving your mental health. How do you heal your emotional wounds? Forgiveness. Forgive yourself, especially through the healing of your emotions. It involves letting go of the negative emotions that you have within yourself, which can be anger, which can be guilt, which can be resentment. All these three and more can be deeply liberating if you let that go. How do you break the cycle of self blame? Self forgiveness. Honestly, it really helps break that cycle. And by forgiving yourself, you acknowledge that while we may have made mistakes, yes, we made mistakes, but they are not the ones that will define your ability to be a good parent. In short, everybody makes mistakes, but that does not define 100% of who you are. It's just a part of you, and that part of you is gone. Just let it go. Improve your mental health. Holding on to guilt and self blame can really lead you to stress, to depression, to anxiety, and so many other things. So, forgiveness has that doorway. It opens up that door to a better mental health and well being for yourself and your children. How do you embrace forgiveness? You acknowledge the feelings. You acknowledge that you're really feeling this way. You're guilty. You have resentment. You have anger issues. You have drinking problems. You have smoking problems. And then you start to challenge that negative belief. Once you acknowledge it, you start to challenge it. Reflect on the belief that is leading you to do that. Is it realistic? Is it something that you can put into an account? The complexities and challenges of single parenthood? What is it? Challenge that belief that you have. After you do that, now have empathy towards yourself. Empathy towards yourself is treating yourself the same way that you can treat your friend, that you can treat a good friend or your child or a parent in a similar situation. That's the same empathy you ought to take and wear it as if you want to forgive yourself as if you want to forgive your good friend. And after you've done that, after you've given yourself that forgiveness and grace, you let go. Forgiveness is not about you forgetting, it's about you not holding on to that mistake or regret or grievance on yourself. So this does not mean that you're going to forgive it. It does not mean that you're going to hold it or you're going to forget it. You just have to literally release it. And just don't let that have an emotional grip on you. Release it, let it go. Seek support. This I'm going to always talk about. Seek support. If you're not strong to deal with some things by yourself, get somebody who can help you through it. Get a therapist, get a counselor, get a friend, get a support friend. We have a support group on Facebook, Single Parents Revival. Reach out to anyone and just share your stories. Get to know each and everyone's issues, and you'll realize that yours is not even as big, even though every person's problem is big to them, right? The transformation through forgiveness renews your perspective. Once you forgive yourself, you change your shift. You shift your perspective from seeing life as a series of failures to viewing it as an opportunity for growth and learning. And also, it is an opportunity for you to do something great with it, like this, like what I'm doing here right now, right? I changed my perspective about everything. Now my pain has turned into being a coach, being someone who wants to help others in the same situation that I'm in and I was. It leads to improved relationships. You'll find that it's very easy for you to forgive others. You find that it's very easy for you to connect with others, including your children. Forgiveness can also lead to a lot of patience. You develop patience, you develop empathy, and you also develop open communication with a lot of people. It also increases your resilience, which means once you forgive, you build resilience. You learn that setbacks are not mistakes, they're just part of a human experience, and we are spirits having a human experience, right? I hope you know that. So, and is not an indicator of your self-worth as a person or as a parent. Personal growth also, when you transform and you forgive, you're gonna grow personally. You're gonna have a lot of paved ways. You're gonna grow personally. It will allow you to move forward with life lessons and a deeper understanding of who you are and yourself. So I really love this topic, but I'm not done with it yet. I'm yet to talk about the practices. I'm yet to talk about the question and answers. I'm yet to talk about personal reflections. I'm yet to talk about the closing. So stay tuned for part 2 of this. But yet again, I just want to tell you this. It's not your fault that things happened the way they happened and you are in the situation you are right now. It's not your fault. Love on yourself, give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. Until the next part 2 topic, I love you guys. I love you from the depth of my heart. And I wish you the very best of Thanksgiving tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Solo Parenting Strength. Remember, you are never alone in this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with other single parents who might find solace in our supportive community. Remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback enables us to reach more single parents who may need this beacon of strength. Until next time, always remember, the strength you seek resides within you. Take care and keep thriving. Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience is produced by Single Parents Revival. For additional resources and community support, visit our website at www.singleparentsrevival.com. We're grateful to have you as part of our empowering community. Thank you for being here.